demo here, and I'm going to start from scratch so everybody can kind of see how it works, and I'm going to block off some stuff that you shouldn't see, but let's get to it. So from start to finish, this is how we get the app started. I'm thinking about giving some courses a little bit just on basic stuff when it comes to developing and doing some Python development, but really I'll start by trying to show people how I kind of build. So we're spinning up the app now that we built, and it's going to be hosted on a local host. So basically what's going to happen is it's going to spin up and it's going to run on what they call a flash server, and that flash server will host it on your local network, and on your PC you can access it. I'll show you how by going to localhost 5000 is where we saw. And this is the app, basic outline of it. It's just, like I said, just a rough draft to kind of get the concepts down and get the app working. So first steps, I've already uploaded the data, but what I uploaded here is just stuff on GDP and on the consumer price index as well. So I thought that would be a good little test. But if I wanted to add anything, I could just basically grab whatever data I wanted, choose the file, just a normal kind of file chooser. You can see here that this is the data. So when you choose one of these, I don't want to choose the data that's already in the data folder, it'll confuse it, but it basically uploads it to our data folder, and then we rebuild what we call the index. And the index is where it stores all the information, where now we can kind of chat with that data. So let's get some questions queried up, and basically what we're looking at here is the consumer price index of 2023 and GDP report for August 2023 for Canada that were just released recently. Let's just ask it some questions around that data. Okay, so first question, send that to the chatbot and see what we get. I can see that it's working in the background here, and you can see how it kind of pulls up the output. The factors that affect GDP were forest fires, drought conditions, et cetera, and that's from, I guess, the GDP report. I want to pull up the report really quickly just so you can see where it got the answers from. So this is a very recent report. You can see kind of where it would pull the information from. So let's ask it another question. So see what kind of answer we get. Take a look. So I should have something spinning here to kind of. So this is what we get here. Oil and gas subsector rose by 1% August 2023. Growth has been driven by higher natural crude extraction in Western Canada. Great. So that's another. Now let's see if we can think a little bit more when we ask it a question. So let's give it a thinker question here. What sectors would warrant the highest investments? See returns given the data. See if it can think about this and give us an answer. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. Available data, the finance and insurance is likely to warrant the highest investments. This sector has shown growth for the third consecutive month, 0.4 increase in August. Financial investment services, funds, and other financial vehicles continue to grow, therefore investing in the finance and insurance sector based on the provided data. And seeing interest rates rising does make a lot of sense, obviously, right? So questions we want to think about. Think about a smarter question. Let's see, how much did gasoline buy, and did that correlate to the oil and gas sector? To see what it has to think about here, and let's see what it comes up with. So it comes up with the context like increase in gasoline prices and correlation with oil and gas sector is how it kind of determines that answer. And see what kind of, so basically we get an answer here. Gasoline price in Canada experienced the most significant increase in Eastern Canada, so it's important to note the gasoline price influenced by various factors, blah, blah, blah. While the program does not explicitly make correlation between gasoline prices, as mentioned, the increase in oil and gas extraction in August 2023, the growth in oil and gas, overall expansion in the sector. So it doesn't necessarily see the actual correlation that we're looking for in the data, but then it does kind of give us a theory on why. I imagine it's kind of, higher natural gas and crude, obviously in Western Canada, eventually leads to growth in gasoline prices in Eastern Canada, which makes a lot of sense. So this is, like I said, a very simplified example of where we wanted to go. This is what I want to do next, is create the chatbot for the data, right? So it can have kind of a back and forth, and you can ask it questions. But the nice thing is I realize I can build the chatbot and the query bot. So you can ask it a very specific question and have it go out and fetch a very longer answer. Or you can have a chat with it back and forth regarding the data that you have. And the cool thing is we can build, like, this is ability to upload documents one at a time, but if people have vast data stores already, you can build the index on top of the data store by just defining the data folder properly when you build it. So that's another feature that I'll talk about next. But the next thing we want to work on is accepting different types of data. So these are PDFs that we uploaded. But the next step would be to add, CSV files or Excel files, and also some data tables. Obviously, that would be the goal, is to see how well it can, upload different types of data, and at the same time handle the information in that data. So, on our next episode.